Now, I'm affiliated with a privacy app called Freedom Chat, freedomchat.com. The founder and CEO is Tanner Haas. He joins us. Tanner, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me on, Larry. It's great to see you.
So, Tanner, I found this article about Jack Dorsey. He's the co-founder of Twitter, now known as X, and current CEO of Block Inc. And I figured you could make sense of this. He has voiced support for a grassroots campaign urging encrypted messaging app Signal to integrate Bitcoin payments using Cashew, a privacy-preserving e-cash protocol. What does all that mean?
Well, first, let's introduce the audience to who Jack Dorsey is. He's not just the co-founder of Twitter, but he was also the same individual that suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story. He's the same individual that said he wants to ban all IP laws. I would say out of the top people in the world not to trust, Jack Dorsey's on the list. So what he wants to do is he wants Signal, who's chairwoman of the board, is NPR, was co-founded by the same individual that co-founded WhatsApp. He wants individuals to be able to pay with Bitcoin on Signal, trade Bitcoin on Signal. That's what that means.
And why is that problematic?
It's problematic for a number of reasons. I think first and foremost, it pushes us closer to a digital ID, actually. And I just don't trust Jack Dorsey in any way, shape, or form. So for me, it's when you get finances involved, and that's another privacy hurdle that people need to jump over. And I just don't trust it. I don't trust Signal because of their co-founding story, who's on the board. I don't trust Jack Dorsey because of his history, who he is as an individual. I just don't buy it. I don't trust it. And I think we are in a massive crypto and AI bubble. So I'm not for it.
You're also not a fan of WhatsApp, which is extremely popular. Tell us why you're not a fan of WhatsApp.
I'm not a fan of WhatsApp for a number of reasons. Well, WhatsApp is owned and operated by Meta. Meta is Facebook. They have an immense amount of user data used for commercial purposes. They store every single message of yours on a server, often indefinitely. And I don't like the fakeness of it. That if you go on their website, everywhere it says end-to-end encryption, message privately, end-to-end encryption. I mean, it's very repetitive. But that's just one part of the pillar of privacy, I like to say, is are you actually speaking privately if every piece of data surrounding that conversation, who you're talking to, where you're located, where they're located, their financial information, your political affiliation, are you actually speaking privately? And the answer is no. And then WhatsApp also says end-to-end encryption. Well, end-to-end encryption, because you're affiliated with Freedom Chat, but that means no one under any circumstance other than the intended recipient can read your message. With WhatsApp, if you report a user, WhatsApp can see the 5 latest messages in the chat. And if you really think they stop at the 5 latest messages, I mean, you're kidding yourself. End-to-end encryption should not be this ambiguous term. It should mean no one under any circumstance can read your message if it's not intended for them.
You once told me that if you're not paying, you're the product. How is Freedom Chat different from Signal, from WhatsApp?
Well, I appreciate you remembering that quote, Larry. WhatsApp, which is Meta, I don't think there's any company on the planet, other than maybe Google, that does a better job of monetizing user data, which is a fancy and polite way of saying harvesting, selling user data. So that's WhatsApp's business model. So you cannot be a private messaging app if your user is the product and you make more money the more you violate that user. Signal, I equally dislike, but for a different reason, is they claim they're not for-profit, nonprofit. I hate that because that's what the healthcare industry does, and then they rip off every single individual. So for me, they say they're nonprofit, but they pay above market salaries. They recruited their CEO from Google, who gets paid $800,000 a year in cash-based compensation. I don't think that's a nonprofit. It does not work in the tech industry, as proven by OpenAI, which is now trying to change. So I don't like that. I don't like their co-founding story, co-founded by the same individual that founded WhatsApp. Their chairwoman of the board is the CEO of NPR that called conservatives like you, me, anybody on the right, said we are a problem and need to be dealt with. There's a major conflict of interest there. That's just an issue. That's a red flag. So a lot of it comes down to who do you trust and who do you want to do business with. Both of those companies are not at the top of my list.
What is the Freedom Chat business model?
Our business model is a pay-for-privacy business model where if you want exclusive features, you can pay $6 a month or $52.99 a year. Very modest pricing, and we're able to keep it so low because we don't store users' messages on our servers, which reduces our cloud costs significantly. We're also expanding where I think Freedom Chat can actually power a large percentage of the internet with our end-to-end encryption, soon to be quantum safe encryption. So I see this as a cybersecurity type play. And even if you're a free user, everything will always be end-to-end encrypted. We have no commercial use of user data. We want to focus and give everybody their privacy back. And those that want exclusive features like preventing screenshots, screen recording, self-destructing messages, yeah, they'll be the ones that pay $6 a month, and our margins will more than cover, and we'll be able to stay in business.
We only have a minute left, Tanner. As you know, earlier this year, there was a group chat using Signal. A reporter somehow was added. You've told me that would not have happened had they been using Freedom Chat. Explain in about 45 seconds why that would not have happened.
Correct. It would not have happened. And very simply, the individual that was inadvertently added to the group chat was added by somebody who did not create the group chat. On Freedom Chat, only the group chat creator can invite someone. The Atlantic editor took a screenshot of the chat. Freedom Chat prevents screenshots, screen recordings entirely. And there's also an approval flow in group chat. So if you want to add somebody, the other members of the chat have to approve it as well. So it is very likely, had they been using Freedom Chat, it would not have happened.
Tanner Haas, CEO, founder of Freedom Chat. The website is freedomchat.com, freedomchat.com. Tanner, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Larry.
You got it. Take care.